Yep, that's right. It's F1 P1 Life. I'm your host, Sean Kilburn, of course, and this is going to be a great weekend warm-up to the Australian Grand Prix. Yeah, that's right. We're with the Aussies this weekend, so let's get to it. So first on the list to run down is 4 DRS zones. That's right, 4. Can you count it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that math still work with all the new ways that they do everything? I don't know. Anyway, so that's right, 4 DRS zones. Way more than anything we've ever had before. Anytime we ever have 3, it's like, ooh, this is gonna be juicy. Well, yeah, let's step it up a notch. And the Australian Grand Prix is doing just that. So we'll kind of see how that works out. Usually there's not too much changes up at the front of the grid, you know, once the race gets started in Melbourne. So this might be able to shake things up a bit, along with obviously all the changes for this year with the new regulations and everything. And to think that they were talking about possibly, you know, doing away with DRS and that kind of thing. Very interesting, but that's going to make this race even that much more special. So I can't wait for this weekend. Now, being in the land down under, we cannot get away from our man, Danny Ric. That's right. We got Mr. Shoey himself with McLaren, you already know, and this is his home race. Is it going to be his last home race? That's the question that's on the table right now. Sort of, right? So there's been a little, Danny kind of threw it out there to the F1 media, just threw him a bone and was like, you know, I was thinking about retiring, but, you know, once the Las Vegas race came up and was announced, of course, he's always wanted one. I said it in other press conferences and stuff, said, you know, it's going to make me kind of second guess or whatever. Do I really think he's ready to quit? I don't think so. You know, he actually did say that he would love to win a championship with McLaren. Of course, who wouldn't? And, you know, Danny still has the capabilities. He's always been really gifted and he's with a great team. Even if their performance right at the beginning of this season isn't all that, you know, it's McLaren, never doubt on them. And you'd be crazy to doubt on Danny Ric too. So I think if they can get the car where they want it to be, he really does have a shot. So no, I don't think this is going to be his last Grand Prix. And I'd be really sad if it was, because, you know, a shoeyless Grand Prix possibility is a very sad Grand Prix. Still a great one because it's a Grand Prix, but still kind of sad, right? Now, with that said, I don't know if you saw some of the commercials, but Danny has his own wine out there and he actually has a shoey decanter. So I may need to grab one of these because, hey, you never know when he may retire, and then that's the only kind of shoey we're going to have after that. So this thing looked pretty cool, and yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there. I mean, hey, you know, he's doing this thing, got a little bit of music going on, got his own wine thing. So I may need to grab one of these because, hey, you never know when he may retire, and then that's the only kind of shoey we're going to have after that. So this thing looked pretty cool, and yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there. I mean, hey, you know, he's doing this thing, got a little bit of music going on, got his own wine thing. You know, when he does retire, at least he's going to be set for it. All right, so expectations on the Australian Grand Prix. For me, I'm just really hoping to have just another great race to the season. You know, they've been fantastic so far. So overall, I just think I like the fact that there's going to be the 4 DRS zones, another little added thing to just add in the mix. But as far as my expectations, I'm just happy to see Seb back in the cockpit. I'm ready to see him on the grid. So I'd really like to see him just come out of the gates and grab a couple points. That would really mean a lot to me. Aston really, you know, has been struggling a little bit, and you know, I'm a number 5 fan, so, you know, I love Seb and I want to see him do well. That said, I would love to see one of his good friends, Mick Schumacher, grab some points too. Haas has really been doing their thing. They got a pretty good car underneath them this year, and you know, even Gunther Steiner said, you know, they had the chance at least through the first half of this season to actually grab points with both cars. So a little bit of pressure on Mick there, but I think he can step up to the plate. And I would really love to see Seb and Mick grab some points together for the first time this season. That would be pretty cool to me. Other expectations. Can we expect to see a Merc on the podium? Well, I think they're going to have a little bit of luck like they did in the first race. But I think it's possible. I don't know what kind of upgrades they're coming with this weekend, if any, but I would expect at least a little bit because they're pushing hard to get theirself back to the top of the grid. I really think that, you know, any kind of weekend that comes about, especially because we just had a weekend off. So, you know, it's really been 2 weeks that they've had to kind of come with something. Whether it's a little difference in the floor design, little wing change up, you know, some other internal kind of small parts that they can do. I don't know what it is, but it's Merc. You know they always got something up their sleeve, even when they don't got sleeves. But so I would expect they might have something. So I don't know if I can say it's an expectation, but I definitely expect them to try to bring something to possibly make themselves podium worthy. So we'll see. We'll see. As far as the other teams, I would really kind of expect perhaps, McLaren to be coming with some kind of changes, even if it's not an upgrade, some kind of change to their setup or something. They have been struggling, of course. It's certainly not where they want to be. I mean, they were just competing with Ferrari, and now Ferrari's up here. So I don't even know if that's, in the cards for them, at least at the moment. But, things do change. So I would expect them to kind of throw some parts. As well, everybody just kind of has things here and there. But I would think those two teams for sure, are probably on a good chance of having something for this race. And lastly, I would say my other expectation is just a lot of hard-fought racing. With 4 DRS zones, of course, in the last race we just saw in Saudi Arabia, the little chicken game with Max and Charles with the DRS zone at the end. Well, obviously with the 4 DRS zones, they got 2 detection points. One towards the beginning where they get 2, and then one right at the end of the lap where they get DRS down the pit straight, and then another one right after turn 2. It's going to make it very interesting. And then, of course, we even saw inter-team battles like with Alpine and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to just some really great racing. I really hope the first position can be fought for a lot more in this race than previous races. But as far as the midfield and even in the backfield, I just want to see racing all around. And so that's my big expectation, is to just keep the ball rolling in 2022 with a lot of good, hard-fought battles everywhere. All right, and to wrap this thing up, I'm going to say predictions. I got to make something, right? I got to bring it out of the hat. Of course, I could just play it safe and keep it boring, but, I kind of want to say, I'm going to say a McLaren in the top 5 finish for sure. I'm going to say Daniel's going to score points. He's going to score at least a point. And then maybe it's a little biased towards McLaren, but hey, it's all right. It's McLaren. I'll be a little biased, all right? And I'm definitely going to say one of the Mercs battling for podium. I won't say they'll get it, but I definitely think they'll be battling hard for podium. I'm going to say Hamilton outbeats Russell this time. And I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz is going to win this race, followed by Checo, followed by Verstappen. Is going to be my top 3 for the podium. So there we are. There's my predictions. Hopefully I'm not too far off. If I am, who cares? As long as the racing is really good, that's all that matters. So hopefully you enjoyed this weekend warm-up. I will see you all on Saturday. Yes, I'm going to do a different format for qualifying. Just going to be a quick rundown after qualifying happens. So stay tuned for that. Should be pretty interesting. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Please hit that subscribe button down below and hit that like button as well. Be sure you can help promote this video for me, help support it, help the algorithm get this out there. And with that said, I'll see you all this weekend.